All right, everyone, welcome to this morning's protest against Pauline Hanson. It's good to see so many people out here today, especially at 7 a.m. when it's brisk and fresh and cold. But even if it's early, even if it's a bit chilly, even if we had to get up quite early in the morning to be here, we wanted to be here because we know that it's important to fight back against racism and fascism. And that's why we're out here today. It's to protest Pauline Hanson again. She's returned to Perth, and she's returned just after she's visited England, where she's had a backslapping conversation with Tommy Robinson. Tommy Robinson is one of the most notorious fascists in the world. He's called for race wars against Muslims. He said that natives have to defend themselves against invaders. He's been openly calling for war against migrants and people of color. And so Pauline Hanson has said, if I was Prime Minister, this guy would be welcome in Australia. What the actual fuck? This is disgusting. This is one of the most prominent fascists in the world, and Pauline Hanson, by meeting up with Tommy Robinson, has endorsed his politics and said this is the kind of society that she wants to build in Australia. Shame. All right, so we're going to have a protest. We're going to assemble here. We're going to have a few speakers start the protest today. But just before we officially kick things off, I just want to acknowledge that we're meeting here today on stolen land. This is the land of the Whadjuk Noongar people, and it always was, always will be Aboriginal land. Always was, always will be.
Aboriginal land.
Always was, always will be.
Aboriginal land.
Always was, always will be.
Aboriginal land.
Always was, always will be.
Aboriginal land.
All right, so the event that Pauline Hanson is speaking at is starting at 7 a.m. And I think the time right now is like 7:02 or 7:03. So the event would have just started. But even though the event started, I think some of the attendees would be driving down this road over here. So for anyone that's attending the 7 West Leadership Matters event this morning, I think we want our message to be heard by them loud and clear. So I think we want to keep up the chants for a little bit, and I wanted to start us off soon with a new chant, and it talks about the kind of audience that's in the room, the kind of grand banquet hall that's in Crown. And it goes like this. So the people who are attending, they're some of the kind of most wealthy, influential people in the state. So here's a new chant for you guys. They make profits, we make losses. Pauline Hanson works for the rich and bosses. They make losses, we make profits.
Hanson works for the rich and bosses.
They get profits, we make losses.
Hanson works for the rich and bosses.
They make profits, we make losses. Hanson works for the rich and bosses. They make profits, we make losses.
Hanson works for the rich and bosses.
They make profits, we make losses.
Hanson works for the rich and bosses.
They make profits, we make losses. Hanson works for the rich and bosses. They make profits, we make losses. Hanson works for the rich and bosses.
They get profits.
We make losses.
Hanson works for the rich and bosses.
They make profits, we make losses.
Hanson works for the rich and bosses.
They make profits, we make losses.
Hanson works for the rich and bosses.
They make profits, we make losses.
Hanson works for the rich and bosses.
They make profits, we make losses.
Hanson works for the rich and bosses.
They make profits, we make losses.
Hanson works for the rich and bosses.
They make profits, we make losses.
Hanson works for the rich and bosses.
They make profits, we make losses.
Hanson works for the rich and bosses.
They make profits, we make losses.
Hanson works for the rich and bosses.
They make profits, we make losses.
Hanson works for the rich and bosses.
They make profits, we make losses.
Hanson works for the rich and bosses.
They make profits, we make losses.
Hanson works for the rich and bosses.
They make profits, we make losses.
Hanson works for the rich and bosses.
They make profits, we make losses.
Hanson works for the rich and bosses.
They also got another new chant, and it's about this weekend. You guys might have seen that in addition to meeting up, we were having an appalling meeting with Tommy Robinson. Pauline Hanson also went to one of the most notorious conferences of the far right in the world. She went to CPAC in the United Kingdom. So CPAC is the Conservative Political Action Conference. It's a gathering of the far right and their political parties, and Pauline Hanson wanted to come to CPAC and to make a splash. Well, she went to CPAC, but she did not make a splash. Her room was totally empty, so I can at least relish that small satisfaction. So I've got a new chant, and it goes like this. Your CPAC talk was a failure. We say no to white Australia. CPAC talk was a failure. We say no to white Australia. Your CPAC talk was a failure.
We say no to white Australia.
Your CPAC talk was a failure.
We say no to white Australia.
Your CPAC talk was a failure.
We say no to white Australia.
Your CPAC talk was a failure.
We say no to white Australia.
Your CPAC talk was a failure.
We say no to white Australia.
Your CPAC talk was a failure.
We say no to white Australia.
Your CPAC talk was a failure.
We say no to white Australia.
Your CPAC talk was a failure.
We say no to white Australia.
Your CPAC talk was a failure.
We say no to white Australia.
Your CPAC talk was a failure.
We say no to white Australia.
Your CPAC talk was a failure.
We say no to white Australia.
Your CPAC talk was a failure.
We say no to white Australia.
Your CPAC talk was a failure.
We say no to white Australia.
Your CPAC talk was a failure.
We say no to white Australia.
Your CPAC talk was a failure.
We say no to white Australia.
Your CPAC talk was a failure.
We say no to white Australia.
Your CPAC talk was a failure.
We say no to white Australia.
Your CPAC talk was a failure.
We say no to white Australia.
Your CPAC talk was a failure.
We say no to white Australia.
Your CPAC talk was a failure.
We say no to white Australia.
Your CPAC talk was a failure.
We say no to white Australia.
Your CPAC talk was a failure.
We say no to white Australia.
Your CPAC talk was a failure.
We say no to white Australia.
Migrants are welcome. Hanson is not. Migrants are welcome.
Hanson is not.
Migrants are welcome.
Hanson is not.
Migrants are welcome.
Hanson is not.
Migrants are welcome.
Hanson is not.
Migrants are welcome.
Hanson is not.
Migrants are welcome.
Hanson is not.
Migrants are welcome.
Hanson is not.
Migrants are welcome.
Hanson is not.
Migrants are welcome.
Hanson is not.
Migrants are welcome.
Hanson is not.
Migrants are welcome.
Hanson is not.
Migrants are welcome.
Hanson is not.
Migrants are welcome.
Hanson is not.
Migrants are welcome.
Hanson is not.
Migrants are welcome.
Hanson is not.
Migrants are welcome.
Hanson is not.
Migrants are welcome. Alright, I feel like since we've been chanting, our crowd size has grown. So I just want to say welcome to everyone that's maybe just arrived at the protest. It's so good to see all these people here out this morning to say Pauline Hanson, her racism and her fascism needs to get lost. I just want to remind everyone as well about the kind of event that we're gathering here today to protest. So the event inside is a 7 West hosted event called Leadership Matters. And this event has decided to host Pauline Hanson, Australia's probably most famous fascist and racist right now, because they are willing to give her the opportunity to let her make her pitch for why she and One Nation should take power. And I don't know if you've seen the inside of this venue, but it's not just like an everyday venue. It's not. I'm not saying it's in good taste, but it's luxurious. It's glitzy. It's got spectacle. It looks like the kind of odious golden kind of architecture that Trump would want in his White House. So this is the venue where it's being hosted, and the kind of people gathering to go to this Leadership Matters event, they're not just, you know, your average person off the street. You know, they're suits, they're senior managers, they're high up influential people in business, in industry, in society. You know, these are the people who are coming along this morning to hear Pauline Hanson's pitch and to get closer to One Nation and to learn more about what Pauline Hanson wants to do. This is the audience for that event. And I wanted to point that out because when the media talks about Pauline Hanson's support, there's a lot of attention and a lot of focus on, you know, the kind of everyday person. Are they swinging to the right? Are they swinging to One Nation? What's going on? But I think we've got to do a bit of a reality check and remember that Pauline Hanson's strongest supporters in this country are property developers, they're billionaires, they're people like Gina Reinhart, Angus Aitken, major stockholders, landlords, gym owners, you know, the kind of petty, small business class. Like, these are the people who are most keen to support the hardcore racism that Pauline Hanson is bringing to the table. And why are they the people who are some of the most keen? It's because her ideas benefit them. Pauline Hanson says, don't blame property developers, don't blame landlords for the housing crisis. Instead, blame Muslims, blame migrants, blame people of color, blame the most vulnerable in society. This is the message that she wants to promote. And so that's why we call Bullshit, and it's why we're out here this morning to protest Pauline Hanson, but also to protest the rich, the gym owners, the stock investors, the property developers, all the people inside that meeting too, who want to support her brand of racism and fascism. That's why we're protesting here this morning. All right, so I'm going to introduce now our first speaker, who's going to come up soon. But before I do that, I should also just remember to introduce myself. So my name's Alvin. I'm a member of the WA Socialists. I've been a socialist for about 6 or 7 years, and I hate Pauline Hanson, and I think she's the worst. Yeah. All right, that's my introduction. I'm going to introduce you now to our first speaker. So our first speaker is Arian Gatia. He's a student at UWA, and he's come today to speak about why we should also stand at the Pauline Hanson. So give it up for Ari.
Hey everyone. So yeah, this Leadership Matters event is a gathering for the rich. It's where Hanson's most loyal racists come for a chance to be in the same room as her. And Gina Reinhart, Australia's richest parasite and a good friend of Pauline, indirectly has a 10% stake in the parent company of Seven West, the organisation that ran this event. One Nation is polling as the most popular political party in Australia. It is a racist, anti-worker party for the rich and bankrolled by the rich.
That's exactly right. Sorry, Ari, but we're going to hear from the rest of Ari later, because I think people are coming in now and they're wearing suits, they're wearing pearls, they're wearing luxurious clothing. So I reckon what we should do is let's come in nice and close. We're not going to go on the road, but just right up to the road. Let's gather in just so everyone can see the signs, the banners, and we can keep chanting and make our message nice and clear to everyone that's coming in this morning. So let's just come in a little bit. And people with maybe the placards come in nice and close. And have a look at the people coming in, have a look at the cars, and let's keep up the chant. So let's start with the chant on migrants are welcome!
Racists are not! Migrants are welcome! Racists are not! Migrants are welcome! Racists are not! Migrants are welcome! Racists are not! Migrants are welcome! Racists are not! Migrants are welcome! Racists are not! Migrants are welcome! Racists are not!
You can't hide, you've got fascists on your side. Kerry Stokes, you can't hide,
You've got fascists on your side!
Seven West, you can't hide,
You've got fascists on your side! Harry Stokes, you can't hide! You've got fascists on your side! Seven West, you can't hide! You've got fascists on your side! Harry Stokes, you can't hide! You've got fascists on your side!
Seven West, you can't hide,
You've got fascists on your side!
Kerry Stokes, you can't hide,
You've got fascists on your side!
Seven West, you can't hide,
You've got fascists on your side!
Kerry Stokes, you can't hide,
You've got fascists on your side!
Seven West, you can't hide.
You've got fascists on your
I want to brave a new chant, and if you don't like it, just chant quietly. If you do like it, chant loudly. All right, so this one, I kind of wanted to chant it just because it's been the word that's thrown around a lot recently. It's about the so-called monoculture. Pauline Hanson said she wants a monoculture in Australia. We know what a monoculture means. When she calls for a monoculture, she's calling for a white Australia. And we also know, like I was saying earlier, who Pauline Hanson's fans are. They're the rich, they're the powerful, the stockbrokers, the gym owners, and the property developers. So maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. It goes like this. Hanson's fans are property vultures. Stop her racist monoculture. Hanson's fans are property vultures.
Stop the racist monoculture!
Hanson's fans are property vultures.
Stop the racist monoculture!
Hanson's fans are property vultures.
Stop the racist monoculture! monoculture. Hanson stands up property vultures. Stop the racist monoculture. Hanson stands up property vultures. Stop the racist monoculture. Hanson stands up property vultures. Stop the racist monoculture. Hanson stands up property vultures. Stop the racist monoculture. Hanson stands up.
And just get everyone to just go back to the grass, and we're going to continue off from where Ari left off. Sorry again to Ari, where I really cut off. Let's keep chatting while we go back. Racist, sexist, anti-queer.
One nation's not welcome here.
Racist, sexist, anti-queer.
One nation's not welcome here. Racist, sexist, anti-queer. One nation's not welcome here.
Racist, sexist, anti-queer.
One nation's not welcome here.
Racist, sexist, anti-queer.
One nation's not welcome here. Racist, sexist, anti-queer. One nation's not welcome here. Racist, sexist, anti-queer. One nation's not welcome here.
Racist, sexist, anti-queer.
One nation's not welcome here.
Racist, sexist, anti-queer.
One nation's not welcome here.
Racist, sexist, anti-queer.
One nation's not welcome here.
All right, good job, everyone. All right, let's come in now. Just gather in a little bit closer if you can. And please give a round of applause for Ari, who I cut off earlier.
So One Nation is a racist anti-worker party for the rich, backed and bankrolled by the rich. Hearing this, the mainstream media says of her she's some sort of battler. She's battling for the battlers or something. Working people. What a load of shit.
Shame!
She's a vile racist. She says there are no good Muslims. Shame!
Shame!
She wants a monoculture. Shame!
Shame!
And she loves the concept of mass deportation. Shame!
Shame!
She blames the end of the White Australia policy for what she deems a migration issue. Shame!
Shame!
This fascist rhetoric clear as day. On top of this, she visited and spoke with the slimy Tommy Robinson in the UK. Right lunatic who was part of the Nazi British National Party and co-founded the English Defence League. This is someone who even Farage tried to distance himself from. She cries crocodile tears for the poor, all while trying to gut living standards of people and siphon more money to business. She says workers are too lazy nowadays. That businesses are ripping off the NDIS. Workers should be willing to work for $2 a day. No wonder racists and billionaires are flocked to her when she blames migrants, the poor, workers, the left, and the oppressed generally. It's perfect cover for the capitalist scumbags who are actually responsible. And they're organising. There are 400 branches, 60,000 financial members across Australia. She sells out shitty events like these and raises millions online. They're a serious force in politics. And what about the Labour Party? The ALP has its own billionaire backers. They're not on the side of workers. They're a party dedicated to managing Australian capitalism and the horrors that come with it. This is the party that has overseen the cost of living crisis while corporate profits soar. They gutted the NDIS and to ramp up spending on military. Shame! They send jet parts to Israel while they genocide Gaza and roll out the red carpet for the genocidal maniac, President of Israel, Isaac Herzog. Shame! They extended the Northwest Shelf, which will emit 4 billion tons of greenhouse gases. They keep open the racist, horrific detention centres for refugees. Shame! On top of this, the ALP does not view One Nation as the racist party that it is. They think their voters are driven by hardship, not ideology, and they aim to win them over. What a load of shit! We don't want racists anywhere near us! We know what One Nation is, and we should oppose them. We are for a world for people before profit, without billionaires, without racism, and without scum like Pauline Hanson. So, Pauline Hanson, go to hell!
Take your racist there as well!
Pauline Hanson, go to hell!
Take your racist there as well!
Thanks so much, Ari. Okay, well, Ari talked about the kind of ties between the rich and One Nation, and I think that's a really, really important point. I wanted to add to that.
Where's she been?
Where's she been?
Where she's been? She's
That's
been on
right.
her little Italy trip with Gina Reinhardt.
She's been to Italy with Gina Reinhardt.
$2,000 a night, and she went to
Has anyone here recently been to the Dolce & Gabbana fashion show?
That's 2019.
None of you? No, we haven't gone to that show. Have any of you been to Sicily in the last weekend on your private jet? No. Okay, so when she talks about the battlers, like Ari was saying, we know it's fucking bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Let's get real. Pauline Hanson doesn't give a shit about everyday people, about working class people. She works for Gina Reinhart, she works for the boomers, she works for the rich, and we're gonna fight her, the rich, the fascists, Pauline Hanson, all of it. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have a little bit more chanting, but then after like another 5 minutes, I'm going to introduce our next speaker, who is Sophie McNeil, who's floating somewhere around in the greens. Before we start chanting, I should just say as well, so this protest today, it was organised by the WA Socialists and the WA Greens, Sophie McNeil, myself, a few of the other organisers. We wanted to put the protest together here today because we know that whenever Pauline Hanson comes down to Perth, there are going to be people who want to say, piss off. Piss off Pauline Hanson, fuck off fascism, no racism in this town, and I think it's really good that we make Perth an anti-racist town. Alright, so let's keep chanting. Migrants are welcome!
Racists are not!
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 Yeah, I like that sign as well. That was pretty awesome. All right, let's hear from our next speaker. So I'm going to bring up Sophie McNeil. Sophie is an MLC with the WA Greens and legendary fighter. So give it up for Sophie.
Thank you so much, Al. I'd just like to acknowledge that we are meeting here this morning on stolen Whadjuk Noongar country. This land was never ceded. It always was and always will be Aboriginal land. I'd just like to acknowledge our Auntie Esther, who's there and who's been so staunch in her opposition for decades now to Hanson's hate. Auntie Esther, we respect you. Thanks for coming along. Thank you so much, Al and Ella and Claire and the WA Socialists for helping organise this. You've done an amazing job, and the Greens are really happy to work with you guys to come together, unite a progressive movement against Hanson's hate. One of our targets this morning is 7 West Media, because these guys are just absolutely disgusting. And we know that in the last few months, billionaire Gina Reinhart has bought an almost 10% share in 7 West Media so she can spread this hate, so she can promote Hanson's hate. Shame! And we're seeing it in the paper every day. We have one newspaper in this state, one newspaper, and who's on the front page all the time now? Pauline Hanson. Shame! We know that this is a deliberate strategy. It's a deliberate strategy of billionaires like Kerry Stokes and Gina Reinhart, who own 7 West Media. They want us to turn on each other. They want us to turn on our neighbours, to turn on migrants, to turn on Muslims, to turn on Indigenous people, because they don't want us to turn on them. Shame! And it is disgusting. On Saturday night on Channel 7, first item on Channel 7 News, 50 people went to a One Nation branch meeting. They made that the lead story on Channel 7 News. This is manufacturing consent 101, and this is a deliberate strategy, friends, from the billionaires. Deliberate strategy, and we won't fall for it here in Western Australia. And I was talking before to the ABC, we're here, and they were asking, why are you here? We're here because we will never let this kind of hate be normalised, will we? We will never let this kind of disgusting, racist politics just be presented like it's some kind of normal mainstream party. We will not stand for this. Never. Not on our watch. So thank you so much for showing up this morning in the cold so early to make it clear that Pauline Hanson's hate and racism is not welcome here. And we will never allow this kind of hate-filled racist politics to be normalised. We will never allow for it to be mainstreamed, ever. And we will stand up to the billionaires who are trying to stir up this racism and division so we turn on each other rather than turn on them. So thank you, friends. We look forward to working together to build a broad, progressive left movement against this far right fueled by the billionaires. And let's do a chant to finish off. Pauline Hanson's hate is not welcome here. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Pauline Hanson, I've stopped that one up. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Hanson's hate has got go. Hey, hey.
Hanson's hate has got to go.
Hey, hey.
Hanson's hate has got to go.
Hey, hey.
Hanson's hate has got to go. 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 Hanson's hate has got to go.
Like, what am I saying? Yeah. Okay. I did want to do one more chant though, just after that speech, which is 7 West, you can't hide. You've got racists on your side. Kerry Stokes, you can't hide.
You've got racists on your side.
7 West, you can't hide.
You've got racists on your side.
Kerry Stokes, you can't hide.
You've got racists on your side.
7 West, you can't hide.
You've got racists on your side.
Kerry Stokes, you can't hide.
You've got racists on your side.
7 West, you can't hide.
You've got racists on your side.
Kerry Stokes, you can't hide.
You've got racists on your side. You've got racists on your side.
Sorry, I hesitated. That was my bad. Yeah. I'll get you after Layla. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I've got 1 or 2 more speakers coming up, but just before I get our next speaker, I just wanted to say something a little bit about the Australian Labor Party, because we're here today to protest against One Nation. And Labor and Albanese have been talking a little, they've been making noises of disapproval recently against One Nation. But I think it's really important that everyone in this crowd knows that Labor and Albanese are not a bulwark against fascism or against racism. In fact, I think if you look around the world, the centre and the far right actually share a lot of political ground, even if the centre likes to claim that they are very different and that they disapprove of the far right. And it's same with Albanese and the ALP. Yesterday, Albanese came out with the Special Envoy to Combat Islamophobia, and there was a report published about the rising levels of Islamophobia in Australia. This is really gross to see. But far from checking the rise in Islamophobia, Albanese has been effectively strengthening it and making it worse by banging on every 2 weeks about how determined he is to lock up the so-called ISIS brides. This is despicable. These are Australian citizens who are exercising their right as citizens to return to their country, but they are being treated by our media and by our Commonwealth and state government as criminals. Can you imagine if any of the partners of Australian citizens who served in the IDF were branded by Channel 7 as IDF brides? It would never happen. And yet these people there have been some Australian citizens who have gone over to serve with the IDF while the IDF is carrying out a genocide in Gaza. So miss me with these bullshit racist double standards. I'm sick of it, and Albanese, far from challenging it, has been wholeheartedly accepting it and making it worse. So yes, Islamophobia has been getting worse in this country, but far from addressing it, the Albanese government has been accepting the terrain that the far right is setting. So if we're going to fight the far right, we need to be clear. We cannot rely on the ALP to take a principled stand against racism. They would prefer to demonstrate that they are reliable partners to business, to Rupert Murdoch, to the Australian, and to Kerry Stokes. That's what they prefer. So shame on Labor, but without Labor, or if they're willing to come to our protests and admit their mistakes, that's fine. But otherwise, we're ready to build out a movement of everyone else out there who says, you know what, fascism's bad, and we've got to fucking fight it. All right, so I'm going to introduce our next speaker now. Our next speaker is Layla Saif, who is coming up to the stage. You might recognize Layla. She is a prolific speaker in the Palestine Solidarity Movement and one of the kind of heroes of the Curtin encampment from 2024. So give it up for Layla.
I see a couple of new faces, so let me reiterate what's happening right now. Right now, Pauline Hanson is having special breakfast hosted by 7 West with a room full of CEOs, a room full of the richest, wealthiest most influential people in our state. She's here to give a pitch about why she and One Nation should rule the country. And we know that the rich and the powerful love to take up everything that Pauline Hanson says. But last time Pauline Hanson came to Perth, we showed up in the middle of the week in Midland. We had 400 people that came out to protest her, and today we're doing it again. Because at any time she comes out, there's going to be us, there's going to be people that want to stand up to her bigotry. So Pauline Hanson thinks that the end of the White Australia policy was a mistake. Last week, she met with fascist Tommy Robinson, a literal Nazi who is a convicted criminal who has invoked actual violence against migrants across the UK. Shame! She went on an hour-long tirade about the different migrants who came to this country after the end of the White Australia policy in the 70s. She goes on to attack Muslims in particular for so-called hijacking the welfare system and particularly the NDIS. Shame! But this is no surprise. Because when Pauline Hanson talks about a monoculture Australia, this is what she's talking about. She's talking about a return to white Australia. She's talking about a return to an openly racist migration policy. The whole interview confirms that One Nation is a far-right, white nationalist party. Pauline hates immigrants, Muslims, anyone who isn't white, and wants to see them deported. She calls us lazy while she's off in Sicily with her best friend Gina Reinhardt at a 5-star luxury hotel, attending Dolce & Gabbana, having swimming in the pool while she's so cold for the battlers. What kind of bullshit is this?
And she wants to sell half of Queensland to Israel.
And she wants to sell half of Queensland to Israel. Shame! Hanson and Barnaby Joyce are trying to cause hysteria about immigrants hoarding houses when it is the banks raising interest, when it is property developers and landlords who are hoarding houses who are to blame for the housing crisis, not the working class immigrants. And speaking about who's to blame, how has the Labour Party responded to all of this? Yesterday, on an interview with Barnaby Joyce and the Labour Minister for Social Services, instead of opposing Barnaby Joyce's racist crap about needing mass deportation, the Labour Minister said she completely agrees! But this is also no surprise. The Labour Party has laid the basis for this kind of politics with their offshore detention centers and their tough on borders rhetoric, their racist anti-immigrant policies. Shame! So the Labour Party are not our friends. They are not a solution to the far right. They've increasingly restricted the right to protest. They have fanned the racism that migrants and immigrants already face. They've backed a genocide for 3 years, and they have overlooked a huge cost of living crisis. Shame! So we need to fight for a decent kind of world, and the Labour Party will not offer that. The Labour Party has normalised Hanson's anti-worker, anti-immigrant toxic politics. But we cannot continue to allow Pauline Hanson's political project to become normalized in this country. So I think it's time for us to get real. I think it's time for us to get real about the kind of politics we will need to challenge Hanson, to challenge One Nation, to condemn them back into the trash bin where they belong. The politics we're going to need to build, if we want to achieve that, is socialist politics. We need politics to name and identify a system that, gives rise to these bigots. We need to name and identify a system, and we need to build a radical alternative that can challenge them in the streets, that can challenge them whenever they come to have their in society. We need to build politics that can challenge them, everywhere. Politics that puts people over profit. And so, if you want to fight Hanson, you have to be a socialist. Only socialists want to challenge and fight every aspect of the capitalist system that Hanson and her politics represents. So join WA Socialists, help us build a movement that can resist Hanson, a movement that is big enough, strong enough to chase down Pauline Hanson wherever she raises her ugly head, a movement that can, protest them, shut them down, and say, not on our watch, the migrants are welcome, racists are not. So, Pop, let's go! Racist, sexist, anti-queer!
One nation's not welcome here!
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 And fuck Pauline Hanson!
Totally agree with all of that. Thanks so much, Layla. I guess I just wanted to start to wind up by making the point about the importance of being a fighter, and also I think the importance of being a socialist today. And part of the reason I say that is because I genuinely think that the fight against actual fascism, I'm not just throwing that word out as a term of abuse, this sort of extreme far-right, hate-filled bigotry and this kind of politics, that kind of fight is also the fight against capitalism. It's the fight to build mass movements for class power and class justice. It's the fight for social justice against every form of oppression and discrimination. It's the fight to expand democracy, not just to defend our civil liberties, but to actually fight for a world where workers and everyday people rule. That kind of fight challenges everything that our kind of everyday system of capitalism holds dear. So if we're going to fight back against the far right, we also need to fight back against the bosses, against their kind of values, against nationalism, and for a world that's based on human need and not profit. And that's what socialism is about. All right, thanks so much to everyone who's come out today. You've all done an amazing job. And I look forward to continuing to protest Hanson every time she comes to Perth. It would be great. For too long, to be honest, Melbourne has had this reputation as being the woke city, whatever. Honestly, and Perth has had the bad rap of being the mining city. It's it's so conservative, BHP everywhere, whatever. I say, let's make Perth the woke city. The city where Pauline Hanson comes, we're going to tell her to piss off. So great job, everyone, and I'll see you at the next protest. Thanks so much. One more chant to end us off. Migrants are welcome.
Racists are not!
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 Thanks so much. All right, so as we end, we're having a press conference with a couple of people, so if you'd like to stick around and be in the background of TV, please do. It's good for the media coverage. And then I'll also just hand it over to our guest here who wants to say a few quick, brief words. So thanks so much, everyone.
By the way, I'm not much of a public speaker. One of the things that I find difficult to understand, why are there so many people in Australia supporting this woman? I will never understand. But I'd like to finish off with a joke. You are suggesting that she goes to hell. Now, could you please check people in hell? Do they want her down there?